Wisconsin Rapids Fire Department celebrated the opening of the newly renovated Fire Station 1 on August 13th, 2022. The new station renovations, coming in at almost $3 million, offer the team many new features and quality of life updates.
So the renovation allocated by the Common Council was a $2.7 million renovation and addition. Part of that project was addition of a new living space and 3 bays for our ambulances. This project actually had a threefold. We now have a gender-neutral facility that our female firefighters have their own dorm. Each firefighter has their own dorm now. That was the driving force of it when we first started. The second part and the third part that are just as important is that we are more operationally sound now. We had apparatus back in the shed and back that we would have to go and try to put into service when we get calls for them, such as our rescue boat, our hazardous materials trailer. Now with the move of the ambulances to that bay, the new bay, we actually have everything up on a readiness level at all times, easily accessed, no more running to the shed. And then the third component, which I think is the most important, is the safety aspect. We now have a carcinogen-free environment. When firefighters get back, their gear goes into a decon room, is what we call it. They can drop their gear, put it right into an extractor that takes those carcinogens out. The clothes they had underneath that gear goes into a washer and dryer that's dedicated to that also, decontamination, and they can get into steam showers for 20 minutes. Good research shows that if they can be in a steam shower for 20 minutes, their pores open up, they start to sweat, and those carcinogens then get washed away instead of absorbed up into their organs. Thus, we should have a more safer environment for our firefighters when they come back. So.
Community members were invited to the grand opening to learn more about the station from staff and area leaders.
First off, from all the members of Wisconsin Rapids Fire Department, I want to really thank you for, on a rainy day, still coming out and helping us open up this new fire station. It's been a long time coming, and we greatly appreciate the investment the city's made into the fire department for now and for the future. So thank you for coming on out. We've got a short itinerary, and our first speaker is going to be Pastor Chris Putney from Crossview Church to give us an invocation to start.
Well, as we get started, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for being here. And before we take a second to pray, I just want to say, take a moment to say thank you to all the firefighters, the members of the Wisconsin Rapids Fire Department for the amazing and professional care that you guys provide to our community. You are so appreciated and such a blessing to us. And thank you to your families who are unsung heroes who do so much to support you in caring for our community. So thank you both for all that you do. Please bow your heads with me as I pray. Father in heaven, we thank you for the Wisconsin Rapids Fire Department and the calling that they carry out so well to care for our city. We thank you for the gift of this new fire station. We ask that it may be used to further the mission of this fire department, to be professional at all times, proficient in all tasks, and polite to all whom they serve. Please let your hand of blessing be on this new station and all who enter it. We ask these things in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Thank you, Pastor Putney. All of you don't know it, but Dan Drosh, who actually is the pastor of our chaplain for the fire department, has done wonderful things for our members. Our next speaker is our own Mayor, Shane Blake.
Good afternoon, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to help unveil the Fire Department Station 1 updates. These updates provide a better equipped facility for our fire and EMS staff, reduce their exposure to carcinogens, and correct the gender inequality issues in the station. With these changes, the department will be able to better serve our community, recruit future fire and EMS staff, and live its motto, commitment to excellence. So thank you to our fire and EMS staff who faithfully serve our community and consistently strive to keep our residents safe. And thank you to the fire department, Wisconsin Rapids Common Council members, the city residents to help us make this vision a reality. And I promise today will be the last time I ever refer to your living quarters as worse than my deer camp. So I'm glad to see that these updates have taken place and they look great. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a couple other dignitaries that were gracious enough to accept my invitation. The first one is Senator Patrick Tester. Well, good afternoon. It is great to be here in Wisconsin Rapids to the unveiling of this new fire station, which was long overdue. And so I think this truly is a commitment to the taxpayers of Wisconsin Rapids who value our brave men and women who serve their community. And so I want to thank all of our firefighters for your service as well as your families. So let's give them a round of applause. And actually, this is kind of nice because Representative Krug and I were talking about this. We had nothing to do with this. So we get to show up and show our support. And so really happy to be here. And thank you all for coming out and showing support for the fire department and all the great work that they do. Thank you. Thank you, Senator Teston, and also Representative Scott Krug.
First, thanks everybody for coming out on a day that's not the best for getting out and doing something fun. Second, it is great to be here to talk about something positive in the world of EMS fire safety. Usually we only see the headlines of things that are negative, or things that negatively impact the people in our community. It's great to be here to celebrate something positive and to see so much excitement for it in our community. Growing up here in Wisconsin Rapids, it is a lifelong ambition of mine to keep seeing positive news for all of our great public service, public safety professionals, and to have the facilities they deserve. As Senator Testa said earlier, a credit to them for being such great advocates for themselves as well. And I think you've got great leadership here. Have through the years, and I think you've been blessed in that way as well. So I just wanted to thank everybody for being here today. Once you get a chance to see what this looks like on the inside, I think you'll be as impressed as Senator Teston and I have been. So congratulations to all of you. Enjoy this, and thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, Representative Krug. So, like I said earlier, we'd like to thank everybody for attending today and spending time with us as we prepare to reveal new station addition and renovation of your Station 1. This has been a long time in the making and was an inspiration of former Chief Scott Young. Chief Young saw this project from inception to groundbreaking in October, just before his retirement. I wish Scott was here because from all of us at the Wisconsin Rapids Fire Department, we thank him for his diligent work. In October, I assumed that role, but the real constant throughout this entire project was Battalion Chief Michael Sitza. His unwavering dedication to this project is paralleled by none. So Mike, from all of us from Wisconsin Rapids Fire Department, thank you for all you did. The other shining stars throughout this whole project are the members of this department. With the move to a small compartment while they remodeled the rest of the station, the members of this department can focus on their daily duties. None of them more important than serving the citizens of this great city. As always, you are the highest level professionals, and it shows every day that you walk through the doors. Thank you for each one of you for all you do on a day-to-day basis. So all of us from Wisconsin Rapids Fire Department would like to thank the citizens of the great city, Mayor Blazer, Common Council for their support and investment in the Wisconsin Rapids Fire Department, securing a modern, safe, and efficient base to operate from for many years into the future. We guarantee you that investment will pay large dividends as we move forward, and thank you to all of you. Everyone is probably expecting a true ribbon cutting, but we are changing things up today. You can see a fire hose hanging on the door to my left here. So a fire hose is part of the tools we use on a day-to-day basis. It actually represents life safety and property conservation. Life safety for the citizens that we serve and the firefighters as they enter those immediate dangerous to life and health environments with the water that it supplies. Every firefighter from early on in their training are taught if you're separated from your crew or become disoriented, find that hose and follow it to a coupling. feel that coupling, you feel for that smooth, and then the bump with the 2 couplings, and that smooth bump pump will lead you to the pump, which is the exterior of the building and their safety zone. This new addition is our lifeline, modernizing our workplace as a gender-neutral environment, a more operationally sound response, and most importantly, a safer work environment that reduces greatly the exposure to carcinogens. In return, reducing the chance of cancer for our members. Firefighters are 1.5 times more likely to contract cancer than the average citizen. This is why we have chosen a hose for an uncoupling instead of a traditional ribbon cutting. The hose line next to me represents a safer work environment where that smooth bump pump leads actually into the new stations, our carcinogen-free zone. With that said, I would like to have Battalion Chief Kubas and Firefighter Cole Marshall please step forward. Joe is our longest tenured member, and Cole is the youngest member on the department today.
The building has a long history, and now with the new renovations, a long future in the Wisconsin Rapids community.
This station was built, I believe it was 71 or 72. The groundbreaking was actually in early October, and then through the winter up until it was June was when it was turned over to us. At that point, there were still some things that had to get done because of supply chain issues and stuff, but it was operational that we could move into it. We are still waiting for a couple things, but it's pretty much completed. And again, supply chain issues is what's driving that. That addition again started in that timeline from October till June. So we'd like to thank the Common Council and the mayor and the city administrative staff for the investment into the future of this department. It should sustain us for 50+ years of this facility. So we as Wisconsin Rapids Fire Department greatly appreciate that investment.
Wisconsin Rapids Mayor Shane Blazer helped set the groundwork for the new renovations and saw them as crucial for the team.
I wanted to ask about the Wisconsin Rapids Fire Department's ribbon cutting. I know that took place on the 13th. How did that go?
It went very well. Wish, as we talked that day, wish we didn't have the sprinkles and the rain.
Yeah.
But they moved everything inside, and it's a great addition to the community for the people, the employees and staff over there, and the services they're going to provide and continue to provide. But it's such an improvement from what they had, and I personally was embarrassed. It's more modern and it's where it should be for professional organization, and they should be set there for hopefully a few decades. But it was a great event. There was quite a few people there, and people just enjoyed themselves.
And not to put you on the spot, because we know you're not a fireman necessarily. You wear a lot of hats and have worn a lot of hats in your career, but that's not one of them from what I remember. But
I actually was a volunteer firefighter.
I knew as soon as I said it. I'm like, wait a minute, he wasn't he? Darn it. No. Okay, so then, I will definitely put you on the spot here. No, what you say that there were some improvements done to the building. What were some of those?
So there's a big safety factor was especially with firefighters, it's carcinogens from fires. And so now they have a decontamination area. Because before they had to, when there was fires, they would be walking through their living quarters, and those things can be left around there. So now they have a decontamination area where they can come in, they can take a steam shower, and to hopefully clear out their pores, and then they can leave all their gear in that area for laundering, and then they keep lockers right there with a change of clothes in it, and then they can go back into the living area. And so they really have done a good job of keeping those two areas separate, the living and the workspace, because they do live there for 2 days. And so that was a huge improvement. And there's some meeting spaces there now that I've gone over there, and they're doing training, especially on the medical side. They'll do training there, and then any presentations can be done there. So there's so many improvements there. And then having their own living space, like a little dorm room, that they each get their own space where they can close the door, and which was better than the kind of the dorm setting they had before.
It's
The celebration ended with an uncoupling of the fire hose and an open house for interested guests to explore.
Gentlemen, please do the honors of uncoupling the hose and opening up your new Fire Station 1.